Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that. What's going on, Facebook fam? Terry Digsby, the DJ this evening, playing this wonderful selection, Monte Carlo. And if you want to know where this came from, I'm gonna let A Money do it because I wouldn't do it justice. A Money.
Well, first is our guest that you're actually hearing right now. It's not Ella Fitzgerald. It's not Jill Scott. But it's the amazing, the accomplished.
She's up there with
Nikki Canada.
Yes.
So we appreciate you joining us today.
Nikki.
Yes. And right now we're one person down. The first lady of the show, Tika Rose, unable to make it, but she'll be back next with the next episode. So we hope that you're enjoying yourself, Tika.
Yes. I'm sorry, y'all. I was about to get mesmerized.
I did too, man.
I was about to go ahead and let it play, let it get quiet in here. We're dead end. People are like, what's going on? But it's amazing because we have Nikki Canada with us this evening. And if they don't know, she is a prolific jazz artist, okay? The history on how she came to be is amazing. Check it out on Urban Times. We'll have it ready for you. But this evening, we get to sit with the queen herself as we talk certain topics and let those people chime in as well. So, with that being said, Nikki.
Yes.
Tonight's topic. Your gift, your passion.
Yes.
And you. All right. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to let y'all chime in. Go ahead and start on that topic. We want to say shout out to Orlando Corey. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Orlando Corey.
All right. And Priscilla Mitchell.
Hello, Priscilla.
What's going on, sis? Thank you for joining us this evening. Share it with everybody. Let everybody know we are here right now with Nikki Canada as we go into our topic, your gift, your passion, and you. Hey, Money, I see you thinking over there. What's up?
Oh, man. I was just still in amazement.
I know, right? It's hypnotic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They have such a talented artist actually joined us this evening. Yeah. As far as your talent, I'm going to throw it off to our guest.
Okay.
When did you realize that you had a talent for what you do?
Well, I mean, like I said, you know, in the interview, we grew up in the church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, you were supposed to sing. Even if you couldn't sing. There's a lot of people now I realize there's people in the choir that wasn't even supposed to be in the choir. But you had to be in the choir and you had to sing. So, I mean, again, it was just something that it just was, you know. And then, you know, along the way, people would say, well, hey, you know, you sound good. And but I was never really confident about singing when I was a young girl. I just never was.
So when did you think that you just knew it, you just owned it at that point?
You know, honestly, like when I just got to that place.
Wow.
I just got to that place. And I've been singing professionally for like 11, 12 years now. I've just got to the place where when I'm standing on stage, I'm confident that I know who I am as an artist. I'm not like trying to find myself. I stay in my lane, you know. I know what I'm good at, what I'm not good at. So that I just came into that.
That's nice. So I mean, it's never too late.
No,
it really isn't.
No, I mean, because you know, like I said, you know, I started off in gospel. You know, you just that's what you know, and I like it. And even growing up, I mean, jazz and all of that was the devil's music. That's what you know, you were expected to sing gospel, and. But no, I'm just now coming into that, like, I'm confident in who I am and what I do. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I like that you mentioned it, that you just came into it, because it almost alludes to it's not overnight.
Right.
That's true.
It's a process.
Right.
And a lot of times people don't understand that, you know, it's never too late to be in your gift.
Right.
Matter of fact, you and I were just talking about it because of where we are right now as well.
Yes.
You know, we're actually walking in our gift, and it is our passion, and it's something that takes time. So I mean, even with that being said, I think on like with the young people today, they look at celebrities and they think that the celebrities became famous. Well, some of them did, you know, if you have a huge YouTube following or Twitter following or whatever sort. But those individuals that have been in the business, looks like for a long time, like of course Jay-Z recently he dropped his latest album. He had been doing it for a while though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, I remember Hawaiian Sophie. Yeah. You look back at Hawaiian Sophie, one of his first pieces that he dropped. I mean, he was like, okay, so Hawaiian Sophie, but now Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. He dropped 444 and everybody went crazy. Now he owns Tidal and he owns, you know, he's married to Beyonce and stuff, but he realized his gift and now he's walking in it. So I'm sure you got somebody that could relate to that as well. You know, think about it. I know you got somebody.
Who do I know that could relate to something like that? I got a good friend, Chris Page, giving you a shout out.
Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Grew up in the church and everything. I didn't even see this coming. I had to admit, I know he'd probably get on me a little later, but the passion that he will always talk about possibly being a minister. Or not even that, but actually being more involved in church. And then as you know, as I had opportunity to grow up with him, you actually saw that he got more involved. He got more intent on actually following what his life being was to be, and that was eventually to be a minister. And I sit back in awe of him actually being able to have reached that goal. Finding that place that he actually enjoys being at.
It takes time.
It does. You're absolutely right.
And there's a lot of things that you know, for me, I used to deal with low self-esteem. So with low self-esteem comes not being scared to stand in front of the mic, being scared to connect with the audience. See what I'm saying? All those things affected me as an artist. You know, and once, you know, one day I woke up and told myself I was beautiful and I believed it. And with that, you know, came the confidence. It came all those things that, you know, I mean, I'm not cocky at all. I'm confident though. I know who I am. I'm great. I don't, regardless of what anybody says to me, I know who I am. I used to not believe that though back then, which really stifled my creativity. Just being able to engage with people on stage. All those things can affect you. Now I know who I am. I'm confident. I can stand on that stage and I'm me, and which comes across better to the audience. You make a greater impact when you know who you are, when you love yourself. You know, and that's taken that was a journey, but you know, I'm glad that's over. But yeah.
All right.
Orlando just chimed in. He said it's encouraging to see that you can keep pursuing without confidence and not lose hope in your ability.
Yes.
Every time Orlando gets me, drop that knowledge, man.
Drop that knowledge, Orlando.
I had to get him that book deal.
Yeah, we got to get him the book deal. Get him. We can be the first ones. We say, hey, we discovered them first. So
exactly.
But hey, yeah, that's a very good point. So you mentioned a very key thing, and I think that's something that actually stifles many of us. You said you love yourself.
I love myself.
So that's that confidence.
I'm confident. I love myself.
Confident.
And I mean that. You know, I hate to have to keep going back to the church, but that was my foundation. It was just so taught that, you know, everything is just humility. And like I told you when I first walked in here, humbleness has its place. You can be too humble to where you miss opportunities. I had somebody that walked up to me one time and I was looking for, you know, I'm always looking for musicians and people like that I can keep in my repertoire because of what I do and with my production company. And I remember I had walked up to someone who plays piano or whatever, and I said, well, you know, are you good? And he said, well, you know, I'm all right. I said, well, do you know anybody that's good? And he was coming at me real humble. And I did it to make a point. I said, do you know anybody that's good? Because if you okay, that's not what I'm looking for. So humbleness has its place. You have to know. It's not being cocky. You're good at what you do. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. That doesn't mean that, you know, that you just, humbleness has its place. And you have to know when it's okay to acknowledge that, yes, you are great at something. You're good at something, you know? And, I don't make any apologies for that. You know, we can always be better.
Yes.
But yes, I love myself. I think that I'm great. If I don't think me great, who else is going to think me great?
That's right.
I first have to show that I love me. If you don't love you, people aren't going to love you.
That's true.
If you don't think you're good, no one else is going to think you're good.
That's right.
You know, so, you know, some people would disagree with that, but I always say cocky and confident, they're close cousins.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with being confident.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. No.
Oh my goodness, look who's joined us, Miss Charlie Toombs. What's going on, Charlie? How are you this evening?
Hey, Charlie.
And Mr. Mitchell, Russell Mitchell has joined us. Okay, so we got the husband and wife team on here right now. Wow. Priscilla said, yes, love that. Humbleness has its place. Well, see, I know it. Won't he do it? Okay.
He said, won't he do it? Yeah.
Very good, very good. So, okay, so we definitely know that humbleness has its place, and that you have to love yourself in order to start the process, to not miss your blessings or miss your opportunity. So with your gift, of course, there's passion.
Yes.
Okay. And I hear so many times people get involved in doing something. They start a project, they have this great idea, and all of a sudden, as time goes on, they lose the passion, and it becomes a chore.
Right.
I love what I do. I'm not gonna lie. Adrian, you and I have talked about it many times, especially as of late with what we're doing with at the RoundTable and a couple of the projects.
Yeah.
To me, I don't look at it as a job. I mean, to me, it's fun. I mean, it's a brand new opportunity. Heck, there's a brand new opportunity this evening. So, I mean, how can we convey to people or everyone that are listening right now? Okay, Charlie says she's coming to the QC in a few days. Next month for a few days. I take that back. So everyone that's listening right now on Facebook, as well as our esteemed panel right here, how do we convey to people to, if you find your gift and you walk in your gift, to be passionate even after so much time? Because I'm looking at next month. I've been doing this for 10 years, and it still feels as though it's like the first time me doing it. I love it. So how do we convey to other people that?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's what I do.
I think you have to look. My opinion is just continued growth.
Okay.
You can't stay stagnant. I think you always want to actually look to improve on your current foundation. That once you actually, I think, get to a point where you're content and there's no growth, and it's just like you're going through the rigmarole at that point, then I can actually start to see it being a chore. Because there's not any joy in doing it as you would have if you were actually on that growth path. But how about you?
You mean passion as far as, like, let's say someone has a passion for playwriting, and there's a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, there's two things here. I think, first of all, we start off and we're just like, we're all in it. We're excited. But then when we come to the slam doors in our face and the no's and, what comes with, let's just say, that particular, field or whatever, we get discouraged. So you have to be careful with discouragement and quitting with passion. You see what I'm saying? And then what I'll say about passion is that everything has a season. There's sometimes you may say, well, okay, well, I wanted to do this. Okay, but maybe that season's up.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's time for you to do something else. And so you have to know the season that you're in. And sometimes things are just, and if you don't know the season that you're in, what you'll do is if you continue in it, then you'll be frustrated. Now you're actually walking outside of will.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You've gotten off the highway, which leads you to your purpose. You took a detour somewhere. And so now you're not where you're supposed to be. And what comes with that is the frustration. So there's two things. Don't confuse frustration and obstacles with the passion, and know when your season is up with one thing, and it's okay because a lot of times we're scared to say, you know what, this is over, because we look at it like it's failure.
Good point.
And it's not always failure. It means that it's just not, the time is up. And if it's meant to be, again, you'll pick it back up. Absolutely. Again. So I think you just need to know the season that you're in, because like I said, a lot of times, and I will say for myself, that my passion is to see people walk in their abilities, gifts, and their greatness in the earth. That's always been my passion. I'm a creator, and with what I do, what has been given to me, I want to, what comes through my hands, I want to see other people's dreams come true. Now, I just told you what my passion is. It just so happens to be that I'm good at singing. So I took singing, and I'm good at it. Yes. But that's not where my passion lies. So for a long time, I kept saying, well, you know, this music thing isn't working. I'm not traveling the world like I want to or whatever. But deep down inside, I knew that wasn't my passion. And I remember one time I said, you know what, Nikki, you need to be honest with yourself. Because again, we're scared of failure. So I kept thinking, well, if I just stop singing, you know, people are going to be like, well, I knew she wasn't going to do it anyway. I knew she was going to fail. You know, I knew it wasn't going to work out. And so we're so worried about what other people think. We continue in something that causes just trauma and stress. And when I said, you know what, I'm going to follow my passion. And I started Dapper Street Productions. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm still singing. And so when I followed my passion, everything began to line up. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't a struggle anymore. When you're out of purpose and out of passion, it's a struggle. So again, I'll end on that. Either don't confuse passion with frustration, and still know what season that you're in, because sometimes it's over.
That's true. Now see, it's a book deal right here too.
Right
here too. But I'll be the first one. Right. So Charlie 2's chimed in. I love this. Charlie's amazing. She said, if you're not learning, you're not living. You must see a fail as a first attempt in learning and love your life lessons loved in my experience. So Charlie dropping it. Ooh, that's a good one. Guess who just joined, man?
Thank you, Charlie.
Who's this?
Daryl Cook just joined.
Oh, for real?
What's up, Daryl?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Cook?
Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook. Now that's an author. Let me tell you.
Okay.
He's an author, and we gotta get him up here very soon.
Very soon
as well. But guess who else is joined?
Who?
Dana Sidbear.
What?
Dana?
Yes.
It ain't so.
Yes.
Hey, Dana.
The multi-mogul, the sunshine of our lives, Dana Sidbear. Dana is a very good example as far as this is true. Your gift, your passion, and you. Because Dana's background is pretty much the same thing. I mean, she's motivation, marketing.net, publicist, go-getter, got 13 jobs.
12 other ones. 12 other ones.
Don't you know? I mean, and I'm glad she chimed in as well. You know, she just came in because, I mean, she has a story as well. And this is what At the Roundtable does. We connect people. So, Dana, introduce you to Nikki Canada.
Hey, Dana.
Dana Sidberry, Motivation Marketing. That's what we do. So, yeah, y'all, thank you for joining us this evening at the Roundtable. Keep chiming in. We appreciate it. Boy, we got over 90 people rocking and rolling.
Wow.
Thank you already. And we're only 18 minutes into this thing right here. It is truly a blessing. So we've talked about, okay, the gift.
Yes.
And then we talked about the passion. And like she said, don't get passion conflicted with frustration.
Very deep insight.
She is. She got real deep on it. This is a twofer. You got a twofer. Man, yeah. So we had the passion. We had the gift. Now we got to talk about you, because so many times, and I think you alluded to this as well, Nikki, as far as loving yourself, but also understanding what your purpose is. Because I remember learning a long time ago that so many times we can have dreams, we can have thoughts and such, but you got to identify what is your why. What is your why? Because so many times we walk on earth at this time and we walk through blind sometimes. Yeah. A very, very well-known motivational speaker, Les Brown, said it himself. Yeah, Les is amazing, but he said it himself in regards to the richest place that is on earth. It's not the banks. It's not the safes. It's not Fort Knox, but it's the cemetery, in which there are hopes and dreams that have not been fulfilled that are buried.
I've heard him say that. Yeah.
So what is your why? And that goes to the you part. So everyone, I want to throw that out to you right now. Does if you have a gift or a dream or a vision, what about you? What makes that thing so significant, and why should it come to fruition? So, for example, you and I, we were chit-chatting and such, and we talked about Charlotte in the Know. Mm-hmm. I love Charlotte in the Know, y'all. I'm going to tell you, Charlotte in the Know is that podcast that he gave birth to that allows people in Charlotte to know about resources, to know about individuals, and know what's going on here in Charlotte. So, bruh, with that being said, why did you birth Charlotte in the Know?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the kind words. Seriously. To be honest, Carrie, that's a real good question. I always had a passion, which I never followed at the time. That I don't know whether I wanted to be a journalist. It was a hidden agenda of me wanting to be a journalist, or just a newscaster. But somehow or another, I kind of combined all of that, where I'm able to actually try to interview influential people who doing positive things to the community and things of that nature. And being blessed to have came across people like yourself and other people who help nurture this particular passion, which I really, believe it or not, I didn't know that I truly had until it was mentioned to me, like I said, by this gentleman to actually pursue it. It was just happenstance, really, happenstance. And then you started actually thinking about it and actually moving towards it a little bit. And then once you actually dip your toe in it, you find that you actually like doing it. Then you actually commit to it further and further and further. And then you found that you have a full-blown passion to actually want to actually make a career out of this, if at all possible. So that's my look on it.
Wow, that's deep. See, you got deep on us too. Good deal. So Russell Mitchell just chimed in. He said, "Growth. Be willing to change to improve your craft." Oh boy. Okay, I hear you, Sarge. Thank you for frat, brother. Thank you, bro. Dana said she was trying to be incognito.
Well, I like what he just said, because growth is important. We don't whatever it needs. First of all, we live in a place you don't have to buy books. Go to YouTube, whatever you need to do. Like he said, growth, self-help books. I read a lot of self-help books. You know what I'm saying? Anything that can better your craft, make you a better businesswoman, better businessman. These things are very. It's required and mandatory for growth. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I like what he said. Yes.
Yeah, he dropped out.
Mentorship. Sit under someone that you admire, you want to be like.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They say, "Hey, Nikki."
Hey.
Seasons of passion. Yes. Clapping her hands. Oh, Miss Mitchell just chimed in. She said, "If you follow your passion, it will always lead you to your purpose."
Yes, I agree.
See, that's that husband and wife team right there. They
tag teaming it.
Well, they dropped a 2-piece.
Two-piece.
Without a biscuit. I mean, they just dropped it. I like that. That is very.
It ain't Popeyes biscuits. They dry.
Oh. Good thing we don't have Popeyes in this sponsor right
I'm
now.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. We get a call from Popeyes.
I'm sorry.
Trying to work on this right now.
Thinking about giving you a sponsor.
We were going to give you, you get no more free shrimp. Okay. That's a good one. Y'all, we sorry. We just tripping.
Dry though.
They dry.
Oh, Mr. Cook, you just chimed in, bro. You don't like this. Mr. Cook, and again, he is a very incredible writer.
Okay.
He said, "My why is twofold. Scripture says to let your light so shine before men that they see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." And then there is a song that says, "If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can spread the message as my master taught, then my living shall not be in vain."
I'm about to get up in here.
What?
Get out.
Won't do it. But you know what? That's what Darryl does, though. He always tries to acknowledge. That's amazing. Okay, so man, they are. Hey, I can't keep up, y'all. I'm sorry. I need to get some water in a minute. Dana said mentorship is definitely the key. She said many people are afraid of mentoring others for fear of the crab in the barrel syndrome.
Did you ever come across that?
Yeah.
Say that again. What do you mean?
And that's a good point.
That's a very good point. So basically what she's saying is this. If you go out and you mentor somebody and help them, that they may in turn turn around and try to take what you got, the crab in the barrel.
I used to think like that.
Really?
I don't think like that anymore. Well, honestly, you know, I don't help everybody anymore because
really?
I don't. Because first of all, I've been doing this for a while, and you can sit, and there's a lot of people that, first of all, with the knowledge that I obtained or whatever, if you're going to waste my time, I'm not going to help you. I'm just not going to help you, period. Mm-hmm. There's some people that you just know that I truly want to be successful. They're hungry for it.
Yes.
And these are the people that I don't mind. Because my thing is at this. I look at it like this. First of all, again, I'm confident in who I am. I can give you all the tools, but if you don't have the hustle to do it, you ain't going to do it anyway. You see what I'm saying? And even if you are great at doing it, I look at it like, you know what? I was an ingredient to his or her success. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. I wish more people looked at it like that.
Yeah, I used to. Mm-hmm. But my thing is that that's just like any teacher or a mentor or whatever.
Yes.
You know, when you look at something that you played a part in, it's like, you know, it makes me proud. Like, wow, I played a part in that. So no, because I love to help people. But I don't like people wasting my time either. You know, and you can always tell. There are some people, like I said, you know, I can give you everything that I have, but if you don't have the hustle, the desire, the passion, you're not going to do anything with it anyway. And so therefore it goes to that thing in the scripture where it's like, I'm not going to cast my beautiful pearls.
Pearls amongst
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste my time with that. So, you know, and wisdom teaches you that.
Yes,
you know,
it does.
Yeah, it teaches you. So,
Orlando said, "Oh no, she did." I'm still stuck on that Popeye biscuit. I gotta get out of my feelings.
Stay dry though.
I gotta wipe my glasses on that one. Very good, very good. Priscilla said, "I never thought like that because I know what's for me." Is for me.
Right.
Man, there's a lot of wisdom here tonight, man. I mean, I knew that this topic was going to be a definitive topic, but man, it's incredible.
It's enough of, it's enough, look, love, it's enough for everybody.
Thank you.
Boy, you know what I'm saying? It's enough. It's like, I am not, and when you know who you are, that's the thing, when you know who you are, you know, I have never, one emotion that I have mastered, and that's jealousy. I remember my husband used to say, you don't like it, do something about it. You don't like it. Why would you be jealous of someone? You know, there were times where I would say, well, does anybody remember me? Yeah. Does anybody remember Nikki Canada? I'm out here hustling and grinding. You know, it seems like I'm being stepped on, overlooked. But jealousy, if you don't like it, do something about it. You know, there's something for everyone. When you know who you are, you're never jealous of the person that may be doing the same thing you're doing, because I know who I am. I know what is in store for me. You see what I'm saying? Those that are jealous, they don't know who they are. You don't know who you are. You don't really know who you are. So it's like I always tell people, you need to find yourself. Once you find yourself, you won't be worried about what someone else is doing.
Good point.
Yeah.
That goes back to that you.
Yeah.
That's right.
That you right there.
Yeah.
Dana says some people don't like to help others because they're afraid others will get ahead. And that's interesting, because you and I even talked about that as well in regards to me. I just love helping people. I like to see, and I think a lot of times it can be a strength and it can be a weakness. I love to see the potential and goodness in individuals. So I have a tendency, I want to help people, because again, it's all about, you know, your gift, your passion, and you. So within you, there's got to be something that can be birthed, to be brought out. That could be not just a blessing to you, but to other individuals as well. Right. So I know my wife gets on me about that a lot. She said, you always there to help people, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you have to look out for yourself. And I agree with that to a certain extent. You know, sometimes you can bring yourself so ragged, pursuing your gift, so heavily involved in your passion, that you forget about you.
Yeah.
So
it's dangerous.
Yeah, it is. I've worked myself to bed sometimes and still get a phone call, you know, hey, Kerry, can you blah, 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 blah. So that's why, you know, going to that portion of it as far as the you, you have to recognize, love yourself. That's part of the love yourself that you were talking about as well. And being able to realize that, you know, if you're not in the equation, then the dream will fade away. Yeah. The gift and the passion.
Yeah, I always say selfishness is good. I have a friend who hates when I say that. Selfishness is good. Again, I talk about the base because I grew up in church and we were taught to not be selfish. We were taught to put other people's needs before us. And I'm just like, I ain't buying none of that, because this is me. This is my personal opinion. You have to take care of yourself. If you're sucking me dry, what do I have to give to you? I myself first am important. I take care of myself. You know, again, what can I give you if I have nothing? I have to have something in order to give, you know? We were just, again, I don't want to offend anyone. We were just taught the opposite in church. And then you find yourself, you know, there was a time where I was really committed to church, and I found out that, you know, 20% of the people do the work and 80% of the people suck you dry. And this is all in the name of God, and we doing this is the Lord's work. And I always said, you know, I'm not buying that. That don't sit right with me. You know, we're supposed to give to one another. We pour into one another. You know, so you know, I just believe selfishness is good sometimes.
Well, at least you didn't downgrade Popeyes biscuits again on that.
Still waiting on that phone call. Dana asked just a good question. She just directed me. She said, "How long have you been pursuing your craft?"
I professionally 12 years.
12 years. 12 years, y'all. Not overnight, but 12 years of the grind. Daryl just chimed in. I had someone tell me point blank that they would not mentor me or allow me to work with them because they felt as though they would be training their competition. That is so sad. But
I respect the brother or sister that could come out and admit to that.
What, just point blank
to come out and say that? I can respect that. Now, because I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I respect that he or she can come out and admit that. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
They can underhandedly do stuff, and you know, so I can respect that they just came out and was honest about that.
Good point.
I can respect that.
Good point.
I'd rather you tell me and me be in the know.
Yeah, to know straight up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
But like you said, there's still enough out here for everybody. That's why I say I just can't see why people want to do stuff like that. Then again, like you said, I'd rather know who I'm dealing with up front.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can respect.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he felt some kind of way when he said it, but I like to know where you stand, brother. You know, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Orlando just said, too often success is determined by how much money you make. About how much money you make.
Yeah.
Too often success is determined by how much money you make.
Oh no, I don't agree. Yeah. If that's the truth, but I don't agree with that, you know, because success is determined, everyone determines their level of success.
This is true.
Someone making $30,000, that's successful to them. Some are, you know, 100 grand, some 5 million, some a billion. So you determine your level of success and you shoot for that.
It's interesting because my brother-in-law, I was talking to him the other day, Harold. He and I were talking, and Harold is just a very comfortable gentleman. Now, let me give a quick background about my brother-in-law, Harold. Harold is a singer, okay? Harold is an amazing singer, had many opportunities, has been asked by many jazz ensembles to sing, sings on various, he sings in the gospel group as well, things of that nature. But to him, he told me, to him, success is basically going to work, operating his lawn service, coming home, making sure the sons are okay. That's his level of success.
Right.
Okay. And you know, he was like, you know, you look at him, it's like, man, but God has blessed you with this, you could do this. I mean, he has multiple streams. He could have multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
He's multi-talented in so many things. He plays the guitar, he's a songwriter, he sings. I mean, when he sings, he sings. And he, you know, studied the ministry, all kinds of stuff. So God has blessed him in so many different ways. And I'm not trying to get into very deep into the religion, y'all. I'm just trying to give an example, so bear with me. But to him, he said, as long as I can go to work in the morning, do my lawns, and come home, make sure my sons are okay, I'm successful. Yeah. So that's amazing right there. You know, it's just, like you said, it's that level of success that one wants to attain to.
Right.
Oh, man, here we go. Dana chimed in again. Talk to the people about consistency, Nikki. She said, why should they keep it at even when they feel when they feel odds are against them?
I mean, nothing comes easy. That's the thing. It's like you're gonna always. Man, I've had so many people tell me no, no, no.
Nikki don't like no.
I don't like no. You know, that's one thing. When you tell me no, you know, even I create my own. I make my own stage. Okay. You tell me no, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm just not gonna do it through your door. Yeah. You know, but you have to be consistent in whatever it is that you do. There's just that is one of the key elements to success is persistence, drive, even when you don't feel like it. I wake up in the morning thinking like, man, I'm just not feeling this. I'm not feeling it, but I still have to continue to press through. My thing is that if you're persistent, the yes is coming. It's going to happen. It's just, it's going to happen. And you can't give up. To me, if you give up, you just, were you built for it? You know, were you really built for it? A lot of us are really doing things like you said about your brother. Now he could do all these other things if he wanted to, you know, but he doesn't. You know, did you say he could sing and stuff like this? Does he pursue music?
He has pursued music. He sings in a gospel group.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you.
He sung with Groove Masters and host. He's flown all over order to do. I mean, the boy is back. Okay, I misunderstood you.
But when you have to be persistent and know that what it is you're doing, you're supposed to be doing it. It's like this know that you have. What I'm doing, I know I'm on the right path. I just know I'm on the right path. And I also know when I've gotten off the path, you know, but that means you have to be in tune. This is a spiritual journey, you know, regardless of what people believe in, it's still a spiritual journey and you have to be in tune and know when you're on the path and when you're off the path, you know, and know that. And again, I say there's a lot of people that's out here following things that they're not even supposed to be in. Yeah. Just because you can sing don't mean you're supposed to be a traveling singer. That might be something that you might be good at. That don't mean that's what you're supposed to be pursuing. Yeah. You know, I've met a lot of people who are great producers and they try to produce albums. And as an artist, it's hard for me to critique other artists because all I get is, well, you know, you're just trying to hate or you're trying to, you know, push me down while you get ahead. And so it's kind of, I'm one of these people, don't ask Nikki Canada for her opinion if you don't want to know the truth. Yeah. Because you sound horrible, but you're a great producer. Yeah. But you don't want to pursue the production because you're still trying to be a singer. Gotcha. So now you're sabotaging your purpose because you're in the wrong lane. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, but going back to what she said, persistence is key. If you don't have persistence, you don't have drive with the motivation, it's just not going to work.
Spencer L. Barnett, another author, has just chimed in. Spencer, what's going on, brother? Thank you for joining us this evening. He said, I have always said I'm just a kid from Siegel Avenue who wanted to be someone. And I truly believe everything after waking up is a bonus. So you have to live your life, your best life, and give yourself freely. You will receive what's for you. Spencer, I'm telling you, man. I went from North Charlotte from back in the day.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Cook just chimed in. He says, so what do you say to those who downplay your craft because they feel like you are not on their level? For example, they claim to have done X amount in sales and downplay you because you may not have hit the level where they are. Ooh, well, you know what you need to say, bro? No, I'm not going to be negative in regards to it because, I mean, I've come across that situation before as well, and it's all about perception.
That's right.
It really is about perception. But again, it's about the gift, passion, and you. Those are the three key elements I can't emphasize enough on. Because just because I'm on Facebook right now and I don't get, we even talked about this the other day, in which if I don't get 10,000 hits on my Wednesday morning motivation and encouragement, if I don't get 10,000 hits, if I get a couple of hundred, while somebody over here is doing something, whether it's showing, you know, somebody, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, loving hip hop, and they beating each other with chairs and throwing stuff on their face, and you getting 10,000 hits, and you're talking about it at the water cooler. That's okay, because that's not my forte. That's not my lane. And it's the same thing with you, bro. It's not your lane. What God has for you, He has for you.
Did he say, what was the question again?
His question was basically, so what do you say when those downplay your craft because they feel like you're not on their level? I guess the whole thing is, to me, it's about, you know, what makes them define the level. You know, again,
perception.
It's perception. Again, it's about the gift, the passion, and you. Okay, your gift, your passion, and you may not need to be at that level. Maybe what they're doing is what they're doing, and you know, and things happen within time. You know, I'll be the first one to say I've been doing this for 10 years, my magazine, and I remember many a magazine coming out the gate hard, dropping major dollars with press releases and intros to the public and these huge extravagant events and stuff that is showcasing the magazine. They're gone now, and I'm still here. So again, it's about perception. You know, because they came out gangbusters and that was their level. They're not here right now, but I'm still am, and I'm blessed to be with yourself and other individuals and multiple platforms we developed and stuff like that. So it's all about perception, bro. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise.
It's what you believe.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't care what you think. And that's the thing. I mean, first of all, I'm not hanging around people who degrades me with what I have to offer. So therefore they're dismissed. Like, you know, we're just not friends. So, you know, but you still have to, this is where the confidence and the self-knowing comes in, because you have to say, regardless of what you think about me, I'm still great. I remember back in 2000, it was probably 2007, 2008, I went and sat with, oh God, I won't say his name. You know, he was in a major group. They traveled the world or whatever. And I remember I sat in his office, and at that time I was passionate about what I was doing. And I was like, I'm gonna be a great singer one day, and I'm gonna do this and that. And I let him listen to some stuff that I was, you know, cooking up in my little studio at the time. And he looked at me and said, this stuff is horrible. And if I pass this on to anybody, they're gonna throw it in the trash. And I took my CD and I said, well, I thank you for your opinion. I said, but I ain't gonna stop. I said, it might not be what you like. I said, but I'm gonna keep going, because you know, and then I still look, and you know, it's funny now that I think about it, I'm listening to that stuff, I'm like, man, that stuff was horrible. You know what I'm saying? But that I was still, it didn't matter. I was in the beginning stages. I was learning, and I was still passionate about what I was doing. And I didn't let that man rock me. I didn't let him, because I could have went home and said, I'm done. I quit.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? But I still knew that, okay, regardless of what he said, it doesn't matter. Again, 10 years we'll be here. 15 years we'll be here. If you're passionate about what it is that you want to do, stay the course.
There you go.
Period.
Testament, right? That's a testament.
Dana just chimed in and she said, you're married. How has it been growing a business while being a wife?
Oh, man, first I'll say that, you know, if your significant other, your partner or your husband, if they don't believe in what you do or support what you do, it will be very, very hard. My husband's always been my #1 fan.
Wow.
You know, he's always believed in what I've done. But, you know, when I first started out, you know, he was doing a second job. I remember he got a job back then. He got a job at Auto Bell just to give extra money for my first demo, you know, because we were struggling back then. But I mean, and I have 2 sons, you know, now 15 and 20. But it was hard. But you know what? Being that I had a cleaning business, I was able to come and go as I please. I was able to set my own time and stuff like that. So it wasn't as hard. But my husband has been my #1 fan. And the fact that he supports me and believes in what I do, it's like that permission to fly. You know, I'm not, you know, it's not, he don't try to keep me down. He's always believed in what I've had. And so, you know, he's a major part of my success.
That's excellent. And it's just funny how I mean, you both talked about this just recently too, as well, as about recognizing the path that you're supposed to be on. If you really pay attention to it, there's certain things that actually pop up that actually steer you in certain directions if you choose to actually go with that. And it's just actually being able to recognize those cues and actually accepting those cues and actually following through with it and actually help you get to where you're actually trying to get to. And the more that I'm doing this, the more I actually start to see it. So yeah, that's a real good point that you're bringing up.
Yeah, I like
very good point.
Very good point. And it's amazing what everyone is chiming in and such. Oh wow, it's 224 people. Yeah, this is great. I definitely appreciate everyone being on right now. We've got Miss Angela Covington, who's with Mixed Mafia Radio. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Angela.
Who else? Let's see here. Okay. I'm loving this right here. I'm loving this. Everybody's they're actually talking to each other. So that don't, they're kind of like dropping knowledge to each other. So that's great. We're doing our job.
Okay.
So we've talked about, of course, the gifts. We've talked about the passion. And then we've talked about you. With all that being said, and we kind of alluded to the why. And I think you even made mention to it as well in regards to some people are doing things that they should not be doing.
Yeah.
And you even made mention that basically you blocking your own blessing, you're not walking in your path. So I guess the next question would be, y'all, this is gonna be a very good one. When do you know it's time to shift gears? Because like with me, I've done the magazine. January 8th, 2018 will be 10 years. I've been fortunate enough to start another publication as well online at the behest of someone else. And then with us doing our podcasts, and then now about to drop 2 more podcasts. So Urban Times Media is about to be very busy in 2018. Thank you. But it's that time in which everything there's a season affiliated with everything. And it took me a while to realize when it was time to reach out and plant some more seeds elsewhere. When do you know it's time to start another project? In other words, you've seen your gift over here, you got the passion, you realize it's you, but you've done a lot over here. And now you're shifting gears and you're starting something else. And I think, for example, Nikki, you mentioned it yourself whenever you said you opened the doors, you created your own path, and Dapper Street came to existence. When did you know?
Oh man, everything is like a flow. Just like you just flowing into it. For me, it's been a flow. But I mean, everybody's journey is different. I see this as a spiritual journey as well. I'm always. I'm one who's always checking myself, because at 43, I'm like, I don't have time to be wasting time. I don't have time to be on a detour off the main highway. You see what I'm saying? So I'm always constantly checking myself to know, is this where I'm supposed to be? I know sometimes, like I said, it's easier said than done. I mean, I would say when you know it's time to shift, because really I shifted, but I still am doing, I shifted, but I'm still singing because I transitioned into the Dapper Street. Well, see, my frustration was coming from, I kept trying to pursue the music as a singer. So what was happening is that I was frustrated. All the doors were closed on me. There was something inside. A lot of times we really know, but we're scared to admit that the season is up because of fear. You're scared that people may call you a failure. A lot of times we know, and for a long time I really knew, but I was scared to admit that, Nikki, the path in which you're going about it the wrong way. I kept trying to pursue it hard with the music, but when I stepped into the production, everything started going. And when I say that now we do have obstacles, but you still have to know that even with the obstacles, your journey should be like water. It should be a flow. And if it's a constant wall, you have to check yourself and say, it can't be all the time where, people trying to block my blessing or my progress. What is it that you're doing? You have to check your journey. So you have to, have meetings with yourself to say, is this really the path? And a lot of times people are scared to admit that they're scared to shift and really truly follow it's because of what people may say. We're in bondage constantly. I spent about 10 years of my life going slightly the wrong direction because I was scared that people was going to say you're a failure. You don't want to do that. No. That's a waste of time because of fear, So I would definitely say, listen. Yes. Listen to your gut. Listen, because the answers are there sometimes. We just refuse to listen.
That's true.
We don't listen.
And you can see the passion in her face when she was talking about that. So I know some truth with that. Yeah, it was burning. Yeah, it was truth with some cheese on it.
Cheese. I like cheese. Shrimp cheese.
Good.
Taco blend.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Loving it. Well, guys, it looks as though we're coming close to that sad part of our show.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. But it's amazing though, because the time flew by so fast. But at the same time, all these individuals that just chimed in and shared. I mean,
wow. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
appreciate it, y'all.
Definitely appreciate everyone. I mean, everyone who definitely gave a piece of knowledge to this podcast, and share the podcast, please, because other people need to hear these words. Especially Nikki, you dropped some jewels today.
You did. But before we go, before we go. I hate to put you on the spot.
But you about to.
I got to.
Here it comes.
First of all, Felicia, Nikki told me to tell you hello. First of all. And secondly, we noticed that on your Facebook page, you sometimes throw in like 30-second excerpts of just music. Just like you're singing off the top of your head.
Yeah.
Can you give us something for about 30 seconds?
Oh, you know what? One of my favorite jazz classics is Summertime. I love Summertime.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I just love Summertime. I don't know. It's just like the go-to song. But, so I guess you like to hear it. Here we go.
We would love to. We would love to.
30 seconds.
All right.
So that way you're not under any pressure. You know, then I have to cut a check. You know.
Okay. Quicker than that. I'll speed it up. Sometime. Summertime, when the living is easy, fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. All right.
Woo, man. I had to type woo on here real quick.
Yeah, that's how you know you sitting there with greatness. That's all that I can say.
Confidence.
That is talent.
Passion.
Wow. Okay. Oh, Orlando said, try the biscuits during peak hours.
They're a little moister.
I guess.
He said you feeling some kind of way? You feeling some kind of way? You're going to defend them biscuits. Them things is, man, gold blue. Choking.
Oh, man. Well, with that being said, we want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to pay the bills real quick. Give a definite shout out to the House of Lamont. Thank you for being a part of this. Definitely want to thank, Orlando Corey for chiming in and being a part of it. Author Daryl Cook, thank you for being a part as well. Dana, Motivation Marketing Sid Berry, thank you as well. Oh, Latisse Howley, thank you for joining us this evening. We definitely appreciate it. And, oh man, have we gotten anybody sponsor-wise and stuff?
No, I think we just about pretty much hit everything.
Did we hit everybody?
Yeah, but as well as the other people that you didn't list, we appreciate the rest of you that actually chimed in or actually viewing. And like he said earlier, please share, please follow us, please like us, and check us back in another 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Another 2 weeks. We talked about it. Your gift, your passion, and you. With Nikki Canada. Nikki, thank you once again.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. I enjoyed this.
Glad
Yeah. Okay, so one last thing. Okay. Can I close out with some music?
Ooh.
Yeah. Right. Monte Carlo by Nikki Canada. Check it out. Visit her website. NICCI Canada, like the country.com.
Yes, NICCICanada.com.
All right. We appreciate y'all being here. See you next time.
Take me to a place called Monte Carlo, where the lovers dance and reunite again. As I close my eyes, I imagine that I'm up to another place where lovers be. You and I can get away and forget about our troubles. It's just you and me. Take me to a place called Monte Carlo, where the lovers dance and reunite again. Take me to a place called Monte Carlo, kindle the fire of love and desire. Let's hold hands and skip